Some players in the league take a while to get their feet down for whatever type of player they want to be, and some finally get a chance to showcase those skills when other players go down with an injury. Like this past season, Quentin Grimes had been in the league for 4 seasons and had been on 4 different organizations. But with Philadelphia, he got the chance to drop over 20 points a game for the first time in his career and likely earned himself some value heading into the future. While other guys like Norman Powell are damn near NBA veterans before they take their near all-star leaps in the NBA. However, I don't have any of those predictions for next season as of right now, but I might in the future. But what I do have is 5 guys, 3 of which were rookies last season, that I think will see a huge increase in production for this upcoming season. So let's get into 5 players I think will have a breakout year. First on the list, I have to include Peyton Pritchard, which I'm sure many of you are saying that he just won the 6th Man of the Year award, so how could he possibly have a serious quote-unquote breakout season? And to me, with the injury to Jason Tatum and the Celtics trying to shed some of that money for tax reasons and getting rid of Porzingis and Drew Holiday, this year the load on Pritchard is going to be even higher than it's ever been, and he's proved that he can sustain his level of play. And I think that's a big reason why you have to include him in any breakout list, because we already know what he's capable of doing on the court, and he's just been waiting for his moment to draw more minutes and produce for the team, which is the exact direction I think the Celtics are looking to head. I mean, last year Pritchard averaged over 18 points per game per 36 minutes on the court with 47, 41, and 85% shooting. He had the 3rd highest plus minus on the team behind only Tatum and Porzingis, who is now gone. And I truly think that in a much weaker Eastern Conference in this upcoming season that Pritchard could be on the path to making an all-star appearance. While his defense isn't amazing, it will help being surrounded by guys like Derek White and Jaylen Brown that can help carry some of that defensive load. And then next I'll go for 2 players on the same team, that's why they'll be grouped together. I have Cam Whitmore and Reed Shepherd on the list, making a huge jump from their production last season in the league. And to me, the fact that the Rockets were able and willing to keep them in spite of the Kevin Durant trade tells me more about how the franchise feels about these 2 players. When given the minutes last season, we saw the capability of both of them. And even when Shepherd was sent down to the G League, the Rockets quickly realized that he was steps ahead of the guys that were there. And now with the Rockets missing Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, they'll have to be looking elsewhere for some of those minutes. And of course, Kevin Durant will make up the load of scoring between the 2 players they traded away. So whether off the bench or even in starting roles, these 2 are going to be a crucial piece in the Rockets making a title run. Last year, Shepherd and Whitmore both had top 10 defensive ratings for the team on the entire season, while in the 3 games that they both started, Shepherd averaged 20 points, 5 assists, 3 boards, along with 2 steals and a block. And for Whitmore, it was 20 points, 6 boards with a block and a steal per game, which if anything just goes to show that these guys can do their job when given the minutes. And I think that with the roster thinned slightly more due to the trade, the Rockets could be looking at both of them for breakout seasons. And next is Matas Buzelis, who's another rookie that shined in his starts last season. And the Bulls, in my opinion, have worked to make an even worse roster than they had the year before with their trades and drafting decisions, which makes me think it's a prime position for Buzelis to excel with the weaker roster. In the 80 games he played last season, he only got the start in the last 31 of the season, to which he showcased the talent that he's going to be in the NBA. In those starts, Buzelis had 13 points a game on 47, 35, and 80% shooting. And with more starts, more minutes is a simple equation I've been using that equals more production. And that's all that this really is for some of these players, just an opportunity to play more minutes and be the player that they actually are, and not what they have to put on the court for a few minutes a game. And for Buzelis, I think the Eastern Conference is weak, but the Bulls will still be on the outside looking in, barring any trades in the future, which in my opinion will lead him to being more ball dominant and actually leading this team in year 2. So then I would head over to Sacramento with Keon Ellis, who just finished his 3rd year of the NBA and has seen quite the increase in minutes since he began in 2022. And similar to Matas, of 80 games played this year, he only found himself in the starting lineup 28 times. While all the starts were sporadic throughout the season, he found himself a starting role in the last 13 games of the season for the Kings. And I think that new head coach Doug Christie has found a liking in Keon Ellis, especially with the weird roster construction that the franchise currently has. Ellis is primarily a defender, and there's nothing the Sacramento team needs more. The lineup is really just a race to see who can score the most points, and adding Keon adds a decent piece of defense to the current roster. And that's so much to a point where where in trade discussions, the Kings fans are nearly calling Keon Ellis the only untouchable piece of this franchise. And this pick is less about how the numbers will look this upcoming season and more about the recognition the player will get. If he plays consistent minutes, he'll be recognized as one of the biggest hustle and defensive players across the NBA. Now, Ellis won't bring the big scoring or statistical jumps that you'll see from some of the other guys on this list, but I definitely think the league will recognize the value he holds. And lastly is a player that I think could be the rookie of the year if he was on nearly any other franchise. That's Nikola Topic, who was drafted in last year's draft and missed the entire season due to injury. In fact, he was injured when the Thunder made the selection, and a big reason why he even fell to number 12 in the draft anyways. And personally, I like this pick from the Thunder when it happened because I knew the franchise didn't need production from a rookie right away, and it would give him time to get healthy just like they did with Chet Holmgren. And before the injury, Topic was looked at as a player that could have been taken with the first overall pick, which is why even in his technical rookie season, I think Topic could have a personal breakout year. Now, I don't think he'll make a run for rookie of the year because of how well-rounded and talented their Thunder are in their current roster, but I know that the skills are there. And to me, he could have a 10 to 15 point rookie season, especially if he's improved his 3-point shooting since draft day. He's a player that fits into the Thunder playstyle so well as it is, where he's good with the ball in his hands, can pass well, and can get down the court quickly. Not to mention that a lot of his offense is triggered from defensive possessions, just like OKC would lean on all season long. And to me, with the exception of a few teams, this guy would without a doubt be the rookie of the year this upcoming season. However, on a championship team, we'll settle for a breakout year for Nikola Topic. Anyways, those are my 5 or technically 6 players that I expect to have a breakout season in 2026. So you guys let me know down in the comments which players you agree or disagree with, and let me know why. And don't forget that one of my followers is getting a rally towel from me, so make sure you're following and comment the best player from your favorite team to enter the giveaway. I'm choosing the winner August 1st.